to have the internal energy to reach the leg, the energy has to go through the pelvis. The movement of the pelvis transmits the energy to the leg. For example, when we take a step forward, pelvis tilt down and forward. Then, using abdominal and back muscle to pull pelvis, which in turn pulls body forward. Now, the pelvis is returning to the original level position. In the same situation, when we take a step backward, pelvis tilt downward and backward. Abdominal and back muscle pull on the pelvis, which in turn pull the body backward. And the pelvis return to the original level position. Lotus sweep kick is also using internal energy to move pelvis for the movement. One end of the pelvis is supported by the left leg. Abdominal and the back muscle lift and turn the other end of the pelvis, which swings the leg. This is a powerful movement due to yin and yang structure of the body. Left yin, right yang. Therefore, the movement of pelvis transmits the internal energy to the leg. Another factor to consider is that the direction of the internal force and the leg is best to be on a straight line. If it is not on a straight line, the force will be somewhat reduced. Just like this is not on a straight line. Force will be reduced. If a leg movement is not depending on the movement of the pelvis, there is no internal energy reach the leg. This kind of leg movement is avoided by small circle Tai Chi. A good example of this is a side step like this, a horizontal step or a side step. When one starts the side step, there is a tilting movement in the pelvis. So there is internal energy reaching the leg. The tilting movement is rapidly diminishing as one approaches the middle of the step. No movement of the pelvis in the middle of the step. There is no internal energy reaching the leg. So one has to depend on leg muscle to continue the movement. That is using the external force. Near the end of this step, pelvis tilt movement restarts. Internal force can again reaching the leg. Taking a side step, internal energy stops. So small circle Tai Chi does not use a side step. Also, when 2 feet are wide apart, internal force direction and the leg are no longer on a straight line, detrimental to transmit internal energy to the leg. This is another reason to keep leg shoulder width apart. How does small circle Tai Chi maintaining feet shoulder width apart. Let's look at some examples. Keep going here. With many Tai Chi styles, that next move will be a side step or a horizontal step. This is not correct. It should be a step backward to keep feet shoulder width apart. Then one can hook onto opponent's hand and throw him. After left foot turn left 90 degrees, feet apart width will be more than shoulder width. Next step will correct that situation. Now, feet apart width will return to shoulder width. This move is constantly used to correct feet apart width. This is another example to use this move to correct feet apart width. Cloud hand is another good example to use one step backward to maintaining feet shoulder width apart instead of using a side step or a horizontal step. Again, when left foot turns 90 degrees, the next foot movement corrects feet apart width. During martial art application, one step backward is much effective than a side step to pull opponents and throw him.